Hello everyone, it's Jasmine. Welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a design team spot for Gerda Steiner Designs. They invited me to design with a Valentine penguin stamp set, and I was really excited because these are so cute. You have to excuse my voice. I have a cold, so I'm just trying to work through it. So bear with me. We are going to do a Distress Oxide blended background, and I'm using 3 shades of blue. I've got Broken China, Salty Ocean, and Faded Jeans. And I'm using some Bristol Smooth cardstock. These blend so easy. So easy. It's like spreading butter over warm bread. Doesn't take any time at all, and I never have trouble with these. Like, you can get kind of streaky marks with regular dye inks, but because of the hybrid blend of this formula, it's pigment ink with dye ink. It gives it a really unique feature, and they blend so nicely. So it really makes it easy if you struggle with ink blending. Get your hands on these, you'll love them. And I wanted the top portion to be a little bit darker than the bottom, so it fades from the Faded Jeans through the Salty Ocean down to the Broken China. And I wanted these penguins to look like they were hanging out on the tundra, having a good time. And I'm going to fussy cut these guys out. So I'm going to stamp them using Memento Tuxedo Black ink because it's Copic friendly. And I'm going to color these with Copics. And using my Misty so that if I have any blank spots where I didn't ink it properly or anything like that, I can just stamp 2 or 3 or 8 times if I need to, and it won't shift, it won't move. You'll get perfect, precise stamping every time. And this little tool has changed stamping for so many people. So if you struggle with getting even lines, get your hands on a Misty and it will make you so much happier. Sorry about that. I'm trying to get my camera in a better position. Okay, so I'm starting out with a C6, 8, and 9 to do the black part of the penguin. And I've taken both the caps off because that will even out the pressure inside the marker, and it won't leak out of the nib. The ink won't get pushed out of the nib nearly as easily if you take both the caps off. So I started with some C6, and then I added in C9 where the darkest parts would be. And C8 is my mid-tone, so C6 will end up being the highlight. And these images are fairly small, but they're really easy to color because they're fairly simple. So they're great practice images if you're new to Copics or new to color pencils or just want to color something fun. These are great for that. And if you only have 1 or 2 shades of the gray markers, because you don't need 3. You can do this easily with 2 or even 1. You can just layer it on top of one another in certain areas, and each layer of ink that you lay down will be progressively darker. So you can shade these using just a C6 or just a C9. It's not a deal breaker if you don't have all of the markers you see someone else using on a project. And also keep in mind that the videos you see on YouTube, 95% of the time are sped up. So nobody colors this fast. This is sped up to be 4 times normal speed for the sake of time in the video, so you're not watching me color for an hour. So just kind of don't be too hard on yourself if you're just starting out, or even if you've been coloring for a long time. it takes a minute, but that's okay. The whole point is that you're enjoying yourself. So I'm using a Y17 and a YR15. And the C17 is more of a golden yellow tone, and then the YR15 has a bit of an orange tone to it. So the YR15 is my darker one, and the 17 is a little bit lighter. But again, these are such small areas with the beak and feet that if you only have one yellow marker, that's all you need. And then I'll color that little heart using a VO4, and just a VO4. I didn't use any other colors on it, just that one. So here I've got my images all fussy cut out, and I did separate the heart from the penguin. And then I've just got a snowflake stamp set. You can use any snowflake stamp set you want. And I just picked this one because it had that little dash line swirly in it, and I thought that'd be really cute for the balloon string. So I'm going to take a small acrylic block, and I'm going to use some Delicata Ivory Shimmer ink, and this is a pigment ink. But I like the Delicatas specifically because they will dry on their own and you don't have to heat emboss them. Unlike other pigment inks that I've used in the past, if you didn't heat emboss them using embossing powder, they didn't set. These ones dry really quickly. So I set these aside when I use them for 15-20 minutes, and by the time I'm ready to use it again, it's dry. You don't have to heat emboss these. And actually they look better if you don't. Something about the embossing powder kind of hides the shimmer in them. So the Delicata are really nice. And you can use any snowflake stamp sets you have, any random snowflakes you have in any of your stuff, just to give it a little bit of snowy background. So moving on to some plum cardstock, and I'm going to use this for my banner sentiment. And I'm using the You Are Loved sentiment in the stamp set. And then I'm going to use some Wow Sparkling Snow Embossing Powder. This is a white embossing powder with some really pretty iridescent glitter in it. So I'll heat emboss that, and then die cut that out using a Neat and Tangled banner die. And it's from the Scalloped set. I think I'll show you here in a second what it looks like. See, a scallop die set. So it's got 4 or 3 scallop frame dies and then 3 banner dies in the set. And that is one I would say that is pretty much a staple in anybody's craft arsenal, if you will, just because it's really easy to use and they're simple, straight banner shapes, and you could use them for anything. So I'm going to attach my little penguin down on the ground, and my little snowy border here is some white glitter cardstock from Doodlebug, and I've used a stitch slope die from Lawn Fawn to cut that out. And then I'm using some foam dots, foam squares, on the back of my floating penguin, so that it will look like he is kind of floating along with his balloon. And I have die cut the ink blended panel using an MFT, or My Favorite Things, Wonky Stitches die. So it's got a really cute little wavy stitched edge around it, and it allows for like an 1/8 inch border around on the card base that you're using. And I've used the same plum cardstock that I used for the banner for my card base. And then to finish things off, I've got a clear Spectrum Noir sparkle pen to go over my balloon, and then also on the little heart banners that are like a penguin there at the bottom is holding. Or you could use a Wink of Stella on this too if you don't have the Spectrum Noir. The Wink of Stella has more of a gold tone glitter in it, whereas the Spectrum Noir is more of like a silvery clear glitter, if that makes sense. They're both really pretty, just a different tone to it. And that finishes up the card. So thank you to Gerda Steiner Designs for having me. I had a lot of fun with this stamp set, and we will catch you guys later. Have a great day. Bye-bye.